It was 1973. I was a 7-year-old on summer vacation in Pensacola, Florida. I walked into our backyard to find my family with our neighbor's family at the fence, and when I approached, they asked me if I had seen the UFO. When I looked above the tree line, I finally found it directly above us, and it was a blue glowing sphere just in the fog layer above the trees. And I didn't see another UFO until later when I was a young man in the Marine Corps. It was 5:30 a.m. and 6 platoons of Marines were in awe as an object came from the south at a high rate of speed, did a 45-degree angle bank into the sky, and left behind it large glowing orbs of some sort that seemed to be either some sort of incandescent gas in a form of high-tech skywriting. I never really understood what it meant, but I do remember the first time I saw a crop circle, the symbols in the crop circle seemed to be very similar to the symbols in this glowing orb of incandescent gas that had expanded to a maximum size that took up the entire sky over Camp Geiger and then slowly dissipated as the sun rose. Later in the Marine Corps, a cold chill ran up my spine when in 2nd Anglico, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, I came to the office one morning with the buzz of many Marines talking about a UFO they had seen that morning. And the cold chill came from their recounting their story being exactly what I had seen at Camp Geiger only 4 years before.
Through the investigation, what we do, once we gather all the information, talk to every witness possible, then we do it's a process of elimination. Now we're trying to eliminate, was this an experimental aircraft? Was it a drone? Was it a sky lantern? Was it ball lightning or something like that? So we're trying to rule out anything that it possibly could be. And then if we rule out everything else, then we can determine that it was an actual, unidentified flying object. So that's pretty much the process, is to gather all that information and make a determination from there. Of course, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read the case over as much as possible. And then I start doing as much research as I can. Maybe on the witness if I can find information, or on the particular area where the UFO sighting occurred. And I will look for things like, weather events, anomalies, was there an air show in the area, and that kind of thing. And so I try to do as much background investigation as I can before I talk to the witness. The better prepared I am before I talk to a witness, usually the better an interview will go. And then once I've got all the information I can think of getting, then I will give the witness a call and start the interview process from there.
So moving forward with UFO as a research subject, we should negate any attempt at cult-like bystander effect and focus primarily on research of hard evidence, including documents from military and government witnesses, radar records, and also good substantiated video and photographs. Of course, the problem is YouTube is rife with several fake videos using After Effects and other software to create fake UFO videos. And also, perhaps we need to clean up the language. UFO, unidentified flying object. Now, this is a government term because when you're in an aircraft, you have an identification number issued to you by the FAA. So unidentified primarily relates to a government perspective of something in our airspace. But more often than not, the people on the ground can identify a craft as a certain shape. So I do think the term aerial phenomenon fits much better. And then we don't have to ask the question, do you believe in UFOs? Because you observe aerial phenomenon, and that brings it more to the realm of science. Synonymous with the aerial phenomenon investigation movement has been a word disclosure. Now, disclosure has been used in press conferences where former military and government employees have come together to talk about their experiences with the purpose of getting the United States government to release their files. Now, currently in the world, the French and British governments have released their UFO files, and these people believe that their testimony at press briefings will essentially force the United States government to release their files. But let's think about this for a moment. When religious zealots are using the technology we currently have available to run over non-believers, the idea that these people could get a hold of a very high technology that would be disclosed to us to give us a more advanced way for our civilization, it might just not be the best policy until we as human beings evolve enough to a point socially where we can all live in peace and not try to kill each other with whatever is available.